Well, we've officially messed up La Liga for this season now, so it really does come down to the Champions League. We've got both legs of the quarter-final against Paris Saint Germain right now. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 36 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League quarter-final tie against one of the best teams, certainly one of the richest teams in the world, Paris Saint Germain. And since you were last with me, we lost Athletic Bilbao. And I think that probably was final nail in the coffin, La Liga-wise. There'll be some of you saying, Kev, you can still dream, but we're 13 points. No. Oh, I hate maths. 17 points behind Real Madrid. Yes, we've got 3 games in hand on them, but I don't think we're getting like 5 points for a win. And even if we did, that wouldn't be enough. And also, the fixture list has not been kind to us at all. We're doing the usual, playing the first leg and the second leg of the quarterfinal a week apart. Normally, you don't have any games in between, but we're playing Paris Saint Germain on Tuesday. Then we've got a league game on Thursday, a league game on Sunday, and then away in Paris on the Wednesday, plus another league game straight afterwards. So I maintain the Copa del Rey run ruined everything. We will never field a first choice team in that competition again. The only reason we did this year is because I wanted to knock Real Madrid out. I thought, let's do it, get a psychological advantage over Real Madrid, knock them out of this competition. And then we went back to fielding rotated teams again. The only problem is the rotated teams kept winning. And it wasn't even the fact they were tired then. It's the fact they've created so many extra games now, which is the problem. I can't believe I know I keep going on about it. I can't believe this is how it really works in Spain, where cup games take priority over league games. You shouldn't be rearranging league games to fit 5th round cup games in or quarter-final cup games in. It's just silly. Just fit them in where you can. Play them in international breaks. I don't care. Ridiculous. Rant over. Let's go and try and beat Paris Saint Germain. Circumstances are dictating we continue with the 4-3-3 as well. This is our medical centre. Benko still injured. Ruiz now injured. Abraham also now injured. O'Neill is now joined the injury list. Edgar Lorenzo is injured again. He was injured, got back into the team for the last match and went off injured again. We've also got a lot of players on a high injury risk. We've got Silva, Presedo and Markovic just recovering from injury. I think it's fair to say this is an injury crisis, although apparently we've seen a 49% decrease in injuries this season compared to what we'd expect on average. Our position of joint first in the injury table shows that other teams are also suffering injury problems. That sentence doesn't make sense. So we're having more injury problems than anybody else, but, other teams are also getting players injured too, just not as many. Ridiculous. This is the team. We've got Zielinski in goal, a back four, Ryback, Silva, Annan and Gravosti, with Moreno behind Ramos and Atz in our midfield. Garcia, Korkmaz and Gould are the front three. So despite all the injuries, that's actually worked out. That's a decent 11 we've got out there. And they're all doing reasonably well fitness-wise as well. Liverpool want Tony Moreno, but he's forced his way back into the team. He's a regular again now, so it's going to take another 2 years for me to be convinced that we should let him go. If we'd have let him go any of those times we had the opportunity to, we'd be absolutely ruined right now. We needed that extra body in there. Without Moreno and the option to switch to this system, the season would already be over because we wouldn't have made it past Chelsea. Right. I want you to pick up where you left off last time out. Can I do that assertively? I can. Excellent. Because we were very good in the last league game. We scored 5 goals. Korkmaz looks back to his best. Remember, Korkmaz still only 20 years old. A proper wonder kid still. And that's the thing with this Sevilla team. I was quite negative about them in yesterday's episode, threatening for this to be the last season at the club, all that kind of stuff, giving it all that. But in my world, that was only 3 hours ago as well. But looking at the team, they are still so young. We're a team that's still full of potential. This team isn't going to max out that potential for another 3 or 4 seasons. Now, I'm hoping it's not going to take another 3 or 4 seasons for us to go on and win the Champions League. But in light of the fact that the likes of Bayern Munich aren't even going to give me an interview, I don't see that we walk into a better job than this one. I don't think we could move jobs now and win the Champions League any quicker than if we stay. That's what I'm judging it based on. Ats is in. Oh, it's just wide from Ats. Ats, who is a constant transfer target for Paris Saint Germain. And we need to beat them just to convince him that this is where he needs to be. That's a problem with conceding an away goal. Zielinski makes the initial save, but then they follow up, grab their away goal, and now we've got an awful lot of work to do. Ramos is the other midfielder that we've got alongside Ats, who of course signed for us from Paris Saint Germain in the summer, having been there a couple of years and failing to break into their team. So hopefully Ats can learn from Ramos, because Ramos is an excellent midfield player, can learn that it's, you have to be the best midfielder in the world to walk into this Paris Saint Germain team, which you could argue Ats is pretty close to being, but a goal here would prove that he is. That's what I'm trying to wind him up, trying to get him going. Ats plays it over to Ramos, who is in space. He'd love a goal, but it goes just over from the edge of the area. I think he just got a little bit overexcited. We all got a little bit overexcited there. A goal there would have been absolutely delightful. Let's have some 10 minutes of passion to finish off the first half. And, if they'd have scored again there, that would have been disgusting. Of course, they've got Kubik in their team, who we discovered him. We signed him at Fulham for almost nothing. I think he was about a £4 million signing. We got one season out of him alongside Schuster before they eventually sold him. While I think it was while I was at Hamburg, sold him to Paris Saint Germain for £100 million. He's now playing alongside De Ligt at the back for Paris Saint Germain. That's a pretty decent centre back partnership. Right, assertively, time for everyone to dig in and show us what you've got. We've got probably the two best centre backs in the world up against a wonder kid striker in the shape of Korkmaz. Korkmaz needs to step up and show the world that he's on their level. We don't have it. I guess the only player in the squad we've got who's on this kind of level is Ats. Ryback might get there. Korkmaz might get there. Gould might get there. But we don't have players of that kind of calibre in our team. Weirdly, Kubik taking the throws as well. Did we have him taking throw-ins at Fulham? I don't think we did. We need a goal here, and this is where it would be nice to have Lorenzo able to come off the bench and just offer something a little bit different, mix the system up a little bit, go a bit more attacking, but we don't have the personnel to do it. Garcia now chasing through, finds Gould. Gould heads it back across towards Garcia. Garcia to Gould again. It's the weirdest 1-2 passing system in the world, because it floats over the three players in the middle as they just pass it back and forth to each other, but it almost did generate a solid chance for us. And here's Gould again with the chance to break free, plays it forward to Korkmaz. Can Korkmaz turn his man? He doesn't. In fact, he plays Garcia in. We've got a man over. It's Ramos, and he's scored against his old club. I couldn't have wanted for anybody else to score that goal more than I wanted Ramos to score. It's Sevilla 1, Paris Saint Germain 1. Ramos has a goal against his old club, and it's an absolute beauty as well. Garcia just slots him in perfectly, and at the first time of asking, Ramos absolute. Look at that! Look at it! Showing everybody he's got ears. Wonderful stuff. Right, what do we do now to try and win the game? Gould and Korkmaz both struggling. Well, we can have two Jesuses on the pitch. We need a miracle. Two Jesuses has got to help us out with that. So Perez can come on for Korkmaz. We don't really have an option to bring on for Gould, so Gould can stay on. Ats has to stay on. Ryback we need to keep an eye on because he's been struggling a little bit with fitness. We do have Bruce on the bench who can come on if need be, but I think for now, just Perez for Korkmaz is an acceptable change. Let's get creative and see if we can somehow, some way, grab a second goal. If we can go to their place ahead in the tie, even with an away goal conceded, then we've got to dream a little bit, haven't we? Right, Ats trying to get in there, can't quite get on the end of it, but Ramos is there again. Ramos is playing like a man possessed. Garcia, tough tackling midfielder, 5'3". Garcia, Moreno doing Moreno things in the middle there, and just collecting the ball up nicely again, and it's with Ats trying to build from midfield. Plays Garcia in. Look at that, he wins a header. Garcia with the cross. Perez is brought down. That's a penalty. Garcia has a penalty in the 71st minute with the potential to put us 2-1 up against Paris Saint Germain in this Champions League quarter-final, and he does. What an important penalty that is. And now, I mean, what on earth do we do from here? We're absolutely packed out here. We've got 50,000 people in the ground. Everyone's buzzing. We want a third, really. But every part, I can hear the comment section from the future saying, Kev, now's the time to go counter-attacking. Now's the time to drop the wingers back. I ain't doing any of that nonsense. Right, looking at fitness again, I am going to take Ryback off and bring Bruce on, because Ryback, I'm just a little bit worried about fitness more than anything. Looking at everyone else we've got, I don't think there's anyone else who I'd want on the pitch ahead of who's already on there. So we'll just make that one change. I think I am going to praise them. I don't normally offer praise when we're only 1 goal up, but we're 1 goal up against an incredibly good side. And it is a proper Champions League European Nights performance. So they deserve a little bit of praise, and it might just inspire them to go and grab a 3rd goal. Moreno plays it forward for Perez to chase. De Ligt is under pressure there from Perez, but Paris Saint Germain have the chance for a break, but Gravasti clears as far as Ramos. We've got 30 seconds, and it's suddenly turned into a basketball game. It is back and forth. Atz needs to get hold of it in midfield. He does. Finds Garcia. Garcia, just keep hold of the ball at this point. I mean, he does better than that. It's with Atz again. There's 5 seconds left. Can we conjure up one more chance? It's Garcia again to Moreno. We don't need one more chance. We've won the match. Excellent performance by all involved. Yeah, that was just excellent to get back into that tie. And now we need to go to Paris, do it all again, and try and book ourselves a spot in the Champions League semi-final. In the meantime, I do have 2 league games to play offline. Obviously, we're going to be playing under 14s in those 2 games. We've got to keep these players fit. We're officially having a ridiculous season. We won both of the games despite completely rotating the teams. Bearing in mind earlier in the season, we couldn't win these kind of games with our first choice team out here. But look at the state of that team. Moreno played. I literally, full disclosure, went quick pick, full rotation for these because I didn't know. Certainly the ones in the second game, I didn't know who some of these were. Soto, never heard of him. Anderson Soto. We've got another Tony Moreno coming through. So he played in both of these games. He was awesome. Who else was good? Alfredo appeared in the second game. He looks like a decent prospect at left back. Although he was only 2-star potential there, so perhaps I shouldn't have played him. This guy, Mohamed Beloul, he played in both games. Looks like he's a half-decent player as well. But we beat Granada 2-0, and then Lugo, with an even more rotated team, we beat them 1-0. And Garcia did play in both games, so that was probably... Did he play in the first one as well? He's very fit. He hasn't played a lot of games this season because I lost faith with him, but he's now very much my number 1 again. But look, mad. Contrast that spell to that. What a difference a bit of form makes, and hopefully we can carry that form through into the second leg now against Paris Saint Germain. I think that's the same team that played in the first leg. I'll read it through again, just to be... I've played 2 games since, but I think this was our first leg team. So Zielinski in goal, a back 4 of Ryback, Silva, Annan and Gravasti, with Moreno, Ramos and Atz in midfield, Garcia, Korkmaz and Gould as the front 3. Still no sign of Lorenzo being fit enough to come back into the team again as a more attacking option. Or the attacking midfielder I brought in the summer, whose name I can't even remember because he's been injured for so long. Benko or something? The one who's supposed to be the best one at the club. Why is it not letting me submit the team? There we go. Excellent. Right. We just need to not lose. That's the only goal. I know Paris Saint Germain have an away goal. It would be nice for us to pick one up too. We cannot allow complacency. In fact, I quite like that. Let's assertively say, let's not let complacency get in the way of a spot in the Champions League semi-final. So an away goal would be lovely, but bottom line, we're ahead from the first leg. If we don't lose, we're in the semi-final of the Champions League. So that is a bit of a tall order away from home against Paris Saint Germain. Remember, this is an even better Paris Saint Germain side than the one you get in real life. I don't know how good they are. I know they spend a lot of money in real life, but they are definitely one of world football's sort of top 3 clubs. And there's Kubik grabbing a goal early on to it's not even levelled the tie, is it? That's put them ahead in the tie on away goals. So 1-0 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate, but they are now ahead on away goals. So it now becomes we've got to go. Now we have to play our natural game. We now have to go and try and score goals, which I suppose is the way it always had to be anyway. Let's just not collapse. Remember Dortmund last year? We did so well in the first leg, and then it all fell apart in the second leg. Am I remembering that right? Or is that a different game from a different year? I remember there's been Champions League collapses fairly recently. Ramos, again, having scored in the first leg, has just hit the top of the crossbar, or maybe the netting at the top of the goal, but could have scored an absolutely audacious goal. But 'twas not to be, but we're pressing. I like the fact that we're pressing. We need to go and grab an equaliser in this first half. I think 10 minutes of passion would not go amiss at this juncture. Gravosti intercepts and Zielinski plays the ball really quite aimlessly, sort of in the general direction of sort of between Gould and Korkmaz, but I expect better distribution than that from the best keeper in the world. Korkmaz, though, that is stunning, but straight at the keeper. He needs to offer a little bit more of a threat with his finishing. He can use that pace and just youthful exuberance to create chances for himself, but I think for him to become a proper world superstar, he just needs to become that little bit more prolific in front of goals. Still not at 20 goals for the season yet, Korkmaz, and that's been a big difference between this season and last season. It's 2-0 to Paris Saint Germain for those of you listening in the car rather than watching. They've just scored again, and again, let's not get too upset about it. If we score now, the tie is level, 3-3, level on away goals as well. So being the away team in the second leg does have an advantage. I always prefer to be away in the first leg, but being away in the second leg does have the advantage of the situation we've got ourselves in now. Every goal we score for the rest of this game now has the potential to count double. So let's score some goals, for goodness sake. Gould is through and just fires over again. We've created a lot of chances, but we're just not being prolific enough with them, whereas Paris Saint Germain have had 4 shots on target and scored 2 of them. Mind you, we've only had 4 shots on target as well, just 10 shots in total. Right, we need to go aggressive. Show me something else in the second half. That first half was not okay. I asked you not to be complacent. I guess they weren't complacent, they were just poor. We now need to be good in this second half. It's absolutely not all over, but we do need to put in some performances now. Korkmaz, what is he thinking there? What on earth was he doing? He headed that all the way back into our own penalty area from just about the centre circle. That's not something different I was hoping that he'd show me. Ryback to Ramos and back to Ryback again. And into Ramos again. Go on, grab another one. Plays it to Garcia. Garcia to Ryback. Garcia playing his 4th game in 8 days, but he's still just a bundle of energy. He's not showing any signs of tiring. Moreno, on the other hand, maybe, I say that, and he's bent over double there trying to catch his breath on 55 minutes. But, you know, he's fitness-wise, he looks okay. Oh, they're tearing us apart again here. A 3rd goal here, and I think we probably are going to have to just admit that we're done. But let's grab a goal, an equaliser in the tie. If Ats can score here, plays it into Garcia. Garcia forces the save out of the PSG keeper, and I think we've got a corner. We just need a little bit of luck to go our way. We are creating chances. Ramos with the corner now, and it doesn't find a white shirt, and we need to get creative. We need something from someone. I'm looking at that bench. I'm looking at Perez thinking he's the only real game changer we've got down there. Korkmaz has had a poor game. Perez needs to come on and show me that he's the better of the 2 wonder kids and that he should have been starting all along. Just like in the first leg, I don't really know what else I can do to try and improve this team in this situation. We've got to go attack him. There's no other game changers. We've run out of attacking players. That's the injury crisis is now really punishing us. Garcia, he's absolutely desperate to come off, but we've got nobody to come on for him. We'll take Ryback off again. And then there's no other change that makes sense. If it goes to extra time, which is a big if, Presado's going to have to come on for Moreno. But that's, like I say, a massive if. Let's demand more. That's made them... No, they're focused. Right, we've got to try and grab a goal. We're going very attacking. We do this so rarely. But we've got to grab a goal here. We've got to go for it. Grab the game by the scruff of the neck. We don't even have another striker to bring on. We've got that youngster, Sanchez. This isn't the game to bring on an untried youngster. Garcia now. Make yourself a hero once again. Garcia. What a pass to Gould! Gould scores! What a massive goal that is for Sevilla. It is now 2-1 on the night, 3-3 on aggregate, and we're level on away goals. It is now all to play for again, boys and girls. In amongst the kerfuffle, I dropped us back to a positive mentality. We don't want to get too carried away, but that's what you spend £70 million on. Jason Gould has just grabbed arguably the most important goal in the history of this football club. Ats is getting sent off. We've got to do extra time without him. If we even get that far, there's 5 seconds left. Anything can happen. But Ats, who's been linked with a move to Paris Saint Germain for a year and a half, I think this is probably now the moment to take Moreno off and just go with a proper midfield there now. So he can do that. You can. Ugh, I don't think I've ever played these two together before. You're going to do that. And you're going to do that. This is not ideal at all. Now we just need to try and hold on. Let's play for penalties, everybody. Oh, team talk. Assertive. It's time for... No, passionate. It's time for everyone to dig in. Give everything you've got. Absolutely it is. They've gained confidence. We're down to 10 men. We are absolutely the underdogs here. We've just got to hope that 10 men of passion is enough to beat their world-class players. But we've played so much football this season already. We're shattered. I'm shattered. Can we make a fourth change in the Champions League? They haven't, so I'm going to assume that means we can't. I don't even know what I'd do if we could, but it looks like half-time is approaching. And at this point, I think we do just take the coin flip of penalties. We're down to 10 men. We're going to struggle more than them, that's for sure. Oh, don't give away a penalty. Everything went a little bit quiet there, but then I realised I'm the only one who's supposed to be talking. So when it all goes quiet, that just means I'm not talking. Kev, calm down. Ramos against his old club. Plays it to Presedo. Presedo out to Gravosti. This is surely going to be one of our final chances. We didn't even manage to get a chance. Let's show some passion. We've got 12 minutes left, but Paris Saint Germain are in. And what a save from Zielinski, but they've scored off the rebound. Are we getting a little telly? No, nothing. It was a great save from Zielinski. First time of asking, but he's just pushed it into the path of the oncoming player. Right, we need to do something. Are we able to, I don't know if we are able to bring on another player. Does it let me? No. I guess we just have to do it again. We have to go very attacking. We did it before. I'll demand more again as soon as I can. Seems a little bit harsh when we've been down to 10 members. So Atz has really let us down today. He's basically forced through his own future move to Paris Saint Germain by gifting them this tie. We were absolutely back into it. Momentum was all ours. And Atz just robbed us of that and made himself... He's been a hero for so long and he's just made himself a villain. And it's another cracking piece of defending. But it's marginal, but we've just not quite got it, I don't think. Of course, if we do manage to grab another goal here, we go ahead on away goals. Penalties is no longer on the table, boys and girls. I want to demand more. There's 3 minutes left. We're already on very attacking. I want to scream and shout and tell them to get up there. And what a tackle from whoever that was, Silva. Right, we can now... Oh, it was a penalty? Here's me thinking it was a good tackle. We're giving away a penalty. Zielinski needs to be a hero again. We're just not quite... I don't even know if it's not quite good enough. We're not quite old enough and we don't quite have the depth that we need at this level. I thought in the summer, looking at our squad, that we had enough players to compete in multiple competitions. But looking at our bench today, yes, we've been unlucky with injuries, but we need a couple more players. I don't even know what position to strengthen in. We're strong everywhere. We are a good side. We just need... We need a little bit more experience at this level. Another season or two, taking these wonder kids that we've got and turning them into world-class footballers. I think we probably, if we are looking at a long-term plan, looking at their centre-backs compared to our centre-backs, I'd rather have theirs than ours. We need some proper top-quality centre-backs. Hopefully Bamba will become one of them. We probably need to invest all that we can in we want like a world-class 23-year-old centre-back in the summer. But for this season, our Champions League run is done, which is very sad. Unless something spectacular happens in the league, I think I'm just going to come back for Real Madrid and then the Copa del Rey final. I know I said I wouldn't show you it. I might as well. Looking at this, we ain't in the league chase anymore. We should be comfortable for the Champions League. I don't need to show you a load more games. We'll just do Real Madrid on the last day of the season in the Copa del Rey final, and that will be Saturday's episode. And then we go again next week. We ain't leaving. We go again next week. We will do it this time. Because I said it before and I'll say it again. I go on holiday in the last week of May. And I need this series to be finished before I go. Because I can't record videos in advance for both of them. So we've got to win the Champions League next year. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.